Today, we are taking a deep dive into the new T-Series from Titleist. The long-awaited launch of the new T350, the T200, T150, and T100. And those of you Titleist fans may have noticed something's missing there, the T100S. They have now changed that golf club into the T150, and we'll get into that here in a moment, but much cleaner lineup. As a fitter, the thing that I'm most excited about is two things. This is the first lineup Titleist has ever had where every player of skill, no matter what the skill level, they have a golf club. Not only that, let's talk price point. The map on these are 200 in steel and I believe 214 in graphite per club, regardless of which model you buy. So as a consumer, that makes it really simple is no matter what head you end up with, if you do a combo set of, let's say, T100s and T150s, T200s, T350s, it doesn't change the price. So I think that's really cool. So we're going to take a deep dive, starting with the T350. As we show you guys these irons, they are fitting heads, and we have been fitting them for a few weeks now. So just keep that in mind. They aren't the newest club in the sense of we didn't pull them out of the plastic for this video. So starting with the T350, I'll blow up an image of that. So you can kind of see just beautifully clean lines. I mean, it looks like a player's iron. And with the sole, what the really cool story with all these is that variable mount sole. That actually came from Vokey, Vokey inspired, if you will. They took a deep dive into something Titleist has always been good at with that turf interaction, partnered with Vokey and shaped each iron specifically for the different types of swings that may be being applied. But the T350, Titleist is calling it the ultimate game improvement iron. And to me what that means is it's a Gerber multi-tool, meaning regardless of your skill level, whether you're a scratch golfer or you've never hit a golf club before, this is going to be your club with the 350. It's got the same hollow body construction and forged chassis as the T200, so you're going to get that nice soft feel, vibration reduction. I mean, just a really solid overall golf club, but it's going to pack a punch with that variable face thickness. So regardless if you hit it off the toe, the center, or the heel, it's going to try to have consistent ball speed. Going from T350, we've got the T200, which has probably been the most popular model from a consumer standpoint. We'll blow up an image of that. You can kind of see similar shaping on the badge here, just a little bit narrower sole section, and then that top line obviously is going to be a little bit neck down compared to what the 350 is. They call the T200 the player's distance iron, so it's giving you some of the forgiveness that the 350 offers, but in a package that a better player is going to like. So not as much offset, a little bit weaker lofts, because as you go down in sets, so starting from 350 to 100, each set will weaken in loft. So we'll kind of get into that more into the tech review that's going to come later with both myself and Caleb. We're going to hit all these, give you guys all the numbers and our insights there. Probably the most anticipated golf club of this launch is the T150. The T150 is the club that replaced the T100S. The reason why I'm going to hit on this note, because this is something I was excited about personally, is if you've been a Titleist fan, AP2 has been a household name for 10 plus years in the iron family, and they kind of went away from that. T100S really wasn't an AP2 because of how small it was. So that better player who still wanted forgiveness and shot shaping capabilities, we didn't really have anything from Titleist to hit that was forgiving, but not in a big package. So they delivered that with T150. It's a beautiful golf club. You can kind of see, I'm going to see if I can get it on camera here. There's this underlined slot behind the face. So it's a little bit of a power channel, if you will. So even though it's a tour-inspired iron, you're still going to get some pretty good ball speed out of that. It's built on the same platform as the T100. So it's fully forged, milled face, but it's just a little bit faster. And the top line, which I'll show here, and we're going to probably do a comparison against the 100 and the 150, is just a hair thicker than the 100, but still thinner than the 200. So this is where that comboing might come into play, as the player that wants the T150 might go 6-iron through pitching wedge, but for those long irons to get a little bit more height and spin, they might throw a T200 in there. So the last one is actually Titleist's most played iron on all 3 tours. It's the T100. What's cool with T100 is it's giving you the kind of control and spin of a blade without having the harshness, if you will, of a blade. You can see the thinnest top line out of them all, not a whole lot of offset here. And then on the bottom, you can see it has the most heel and toe relief, so that leading edge grind that they've been known for. The T150 compared to T100, the T100 is the weakest loft of the four. So I've actually got the lofts from Titleist's website here that I can kind of go over that with you, and then we'll jump back into it. Is like for the 7-iron, for example, with T100 you're at a 34-degree loft, where with T150 you're at 32 degrees. So again, when you're talking about comboing sets and with how spin rate and launch angle is affected, you're going to have to pay attention there, because you might have to tweak some lofts so you don't create any gaps in your bag. And what's really cool, whether you go T100 or T350, all the irons have a what they're calling their D18 tungsten weights. And all that means is on the back of the iron here, so heel and toe, you've got these tungsten weights on the inside. And that eliminated the need to weld them in. And when you eliminate those weld spots, that's a point of contact that would dampen or change feel. It allows them to kind of stretch that CG, or center of gravity, and strategically place weights in places that they couldn't do because of welding. It's their most complete lineup ever, and I'm pretty keen on that. I've been fitting for about 15 years now, and Titleist was always the company when someone says, oh, you want a Titleist golf club? I'm not good enough to play a Titleist golf club. With this lineup, especially them kind of catering to the total market, for the first time I feel that more new players to the game that we've seen with the modern boom in golf aren't going to be scared to play Titleist anymore. I mean, that T350 is so easy to hit. It's inviting. It's not intimidating. But one thing I want to compliment them on is aesthetically, even as a game improvement iron all the way down the T100, I could put any of these in my bags and not feel like I'm playing something that's kind of gimmicky. They are a beautiful set of golf clubs. And they're all forged, and that's something that I feel can help everyone, because if you need to have those loft and last tweak, there is some capability. Now there's a threshold within there, but there is capability of moving them just slightly. So as your swing changes or progresses, your local shop can, tweak those for you. In fittings, the last 2 weeks that we've had with them, the biggest thing that we've seen so far is a lot more height and spin than what traditionally has come out of Titleist irons. I think Webb Simpson in an interview said it best, is, certain irons from Titleist always had these hot spots, and what that means is essentially you can take the same swing, but if you catch it just in the right spot, you're going to get this flyer, this jumper. And then going to that kind of D18 tungsten, eliminating the weld mark, they've gotten rid of those hot spots. So I think that's why you're seeing over the last few weeks leading into the playoff, more and more players switching into 150 now, and some 200 long irons, is they're not afraid of that anymore. So creating more consistency through the bag. So as an overview, really excited, and stay tuned. Next week's going to be a big video. Myself and the other one of the other PGA professionals here on staff, Caleb Ridings, which he's actually on Titleist staff and has been for a long time, so it'll be awesome to see him hit some shots. We're going to hit each model. We are going to hit them all with the same shaft, so meaning the 350 all the way down to the 100, there's not going to be a shaft difference. So we're going to really test Titleist's marketing, and also too the technology in each head, show you how my swing versus Caleb's swing, which set of clubs that we would put in the bag, and also too for you the consumer, what set of clubs might be right for you based on the numbers that you see on the screen there. Because I can imagine that T350 being the strongest loft, the hollow body construction will probably be a rocket launcher for us, since we have a little bit more club head speed, and we'll probably have a little bit better control with the lower end stuff with T100. So really excited for that. Stay tuned. So if you haven't already and you're anticipating these videos, turn on those push bell notifications, subscribe in the bottom, and we'll catch you on the next one.